So here the thing, I've been using Charlo Farm seasoning blend and pimento flakes for a while to see what this dehydrated seasoning vibes really means now. And I'm talking about beyond the novelty of me exploring and making creative things like the honey mustard fish that I did in an earlier video. I wanted to know how it really work in a practical day-to-day kind of context. So, well, let me see. Now, I find red beans is a challenging thing to make nice, so I use that as my first test. I am a season it up, instant pot, set it and forget it kind of man. I did just that by giving the seasoning blend a little saute in some oil, and I went in with some red beans and some other herbs and spices to just kind of make it mine. Add some water and get at a pressure for about 45 minutes and yo, Sunday lunch quality red beans though. The Charlo Farm have a kind of sweetish vibes to it. I guess from the intensity of flavor that you get when you dehydrate the stuff, the sugars and all that. So it's kind of work well with things like red beans and other legumes. And if you use it by itself, like a quick fix, you could get a good result too. A next important challenge for me was how it working with fish, which we know in a Trini context calls for proper seasoning. Well, this is where I see the thing really start to perform. After sprinkling it, just the little residual liquid from the clean and wash rehydrated the seasoning, and you could smell how powerful it is. A little goes a long way too. I let it marinate and then I create a fry fish with it and get flavor deep down inside the flesh. That passed the Trini test flying. But I still had a big challenge for it. Dhal now boy. I love a dhal and I love liming too. So I decided to kill two birds with one stone and bust a small lime with my friend Marisa in her spot in St. James called the Pallet. I was sure she go tell me if I saying things or not. I started by bungeing some of the seasoning blend as that have garlic and shadow benny in it, so I infused the oil with that. Then I put some jeera seeds to get a little color in there before adding my split peas. Then another layer of Charlo Farm seasoning blend with some turmeric, some black pepper and salt. Then top that up with water and I pressure that for 15 minutes because, well, I just live a pressure cooker life. pressure cooker life is an efficient life now, boy. In the meantime, in between time though, Marisa had some cheese laps in there, so I tested it out with how pimento flakes would work in a cheese space. Whatever moisture was in the mix was enough to rehydrate the pimento flakes, and that bring all the pimento flavor to the cheese space. That was real impressive. By the way, Marisa big on plating, right? So even if it's a quicksand cheese, it had to look good now if it by the pallet. So back to the dhal now. By the time I cracked the release valve and I didn't see much steam coming out, I know I didn't put enough water. Marisa then started preparing to laugh me out of St. James then. I was just hoping that it didn't burn, so at least the flavor would be nice. Boy, I just barely get away. It was a little thick, but nothing a little water can fix. Not too much though, because I want all the flavors that are set up to be in full effect and not watered down. While Marisa plate up the dhal and thing with a tomato choker that she made with Charlo Farm seasoning blend too, by the way, and some flatbread because, well, that is just how she is. Let me tell you how I break down the whole thing. I think it's a handy product because the shelf life way beyond what regular produce will give you in the fridge, and you save just keep it a pack handy for when you're not feeling to cut up things or if you need the signature flavor of the Charlo Farm blend. And that also ties into more value because it cuts down on wastage while offering more flavor, so essentially you're using less every time. It have a little learning curve because you had to figure out how much of it to use in different recipes and things because the flavor is very powerful. But it's a reliable flavor that you can depend on to bring good Trini results. I think it's not really about replacing fresh seasoning with Charlo Farm. I can't fight a case for that. But I think it's about fortifying the kitchen with a versatile product that will have you never without your essential flavors in your kitchen at your disposal.
Honestly, you won't believe the flavor you're getting out of that pack. The sweetness from the tomato, the smokiness, the taste of the actual pimentos itself, very fresh, and the notes, they're hitting like if it's fresh. You understand? Like if it now make. So I will give this a 9 out of 10. just because I don't come from a packet and get the full market, right? Watch your consistency, watch it. Now you know I just walk in, then these people doing this for a smell of it. That's how they from.
As you can see, I ain't get run out of St. James. Matter of fact, neighbors smell the pot and they come in, boy. So I go call that mission accomplished, right? Well, alright. Boom.